Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bash guide for beginners. Like the title, this video is going to be mostly geared towards beginners because I feel like there's not that much great content out there for people to really just get started learning a lot of these languages and stuff like that. So if you're a little bit more advanced, we might be going a little bit slow for you. But you could go towards the end of the video where we'll learn how to make aliases and change your host name and things like that, if that's all you came here for. But for the people who are just getting into this video is going to mostly be for you. Just a very quick introduction to Bash. If you have no idea what it is, Bash is just the command line interface for Unix computers and Mac OS. Um, so if you don't really know what that means, that's fine. We'll go over it. I'll show you how to open the application. I'll show you how to open it and everything like that. You probably would picture a lot of computer sci-fi nerds working in their terminal. If you were to imagine some sort of coder and you didn't know anything about programming, the terminal is kind of like that interface, but it's the control center of your computer basically. It's where you can do a lot of things that you can't really do in a lot of other places. You can open applications from it. You can create files from it. You can create folders. You can navigate directories. Directory basically being the same thing as like a folder. Um, so yeah, let's talk about some simple commands. So here's just a list of like the very basic like first commands you should probably learn when you're learning Bash. CD is change directory, so that's how you'll be navigating through directories. You can also add a path to CD. If you just do CD, it'll take you back to your root directory. If you add a path to that, um, it'll index into the next directory. If I've already lost you, you're basically just clicking through folders. If you've ever pulled up like your Finder and you like click through folders and you double click and now you're in like a new folder, that's basically all we're doing. There are just different names for it when you're doing Bash, I guess, and they call it directories. Um, but for all intents and purposes, it's just what folder you're in. Um, LS will list out the current items in the folder that you're in. It'll also list out files. Anything that's in that folder, it'll list it out. That's LS, not IS. MKDIR will make a directory, which is the same thing as just making a folder. So whatever folder you're in, MKDIR will just create a folder, and then after MKDIR, you just do a space and then the name of the folder that you want to create. Touch is similar to MKDIR, but touch creates a file. So if you do touch and then space and then the name of the file with the extension, so like I could do touch space my file dot txt, and then I just created a text file called my file. And I'll show you how to do all this. PWD gives you the full path to where you are currently in your directory. It'll give you the full path line. So enough talking. Let's actually do this, and I will go over how to do all these things with you. So terminal you can either open via your applications folder. You could put it on your dock. It's just the same as like any other application. But what I usually do is I just go up to the spotlight up here and then I just type in terminal. And if I hit enter, it'll bring up a terminal here. So I think that's the easiest way to do it. But yeah, so right now, I'll just quickly talk about what we're looking at here. So this is just the host name. You can change this. And then this is the current directory that you are in. So I know that if I do pwd, which, like I said, is the full path to where you are, my command line starts at users Alec Mather. So I can actually go all the way back to like the furthest back that my computer will allow me by doing cd. So I'm going to be changing directories, and I want to go backwards. So what I do is I do ... and then / and it'll bring me backwards in a directory. Now, if you notice, it's no longer Alec Mather. We're now in users. We're now in a folder called users. And I can actually type ls, and that'll tell me the files and folders that are currently in the directory that I'm in. And as you can see, Alec Mather is in users right here. Oh, actually, no, it's not. This is not the thing. This is the this tilde. This means root. So this is where I start basically, and then this is just like my name that you can also change, but this is telling you where you are. So your standard root is in your users profiles, and then it's always set to like one person normally. So what I want to do is I want to go even further back through users. So I do cd again, ... / and now I'm in this thing, which I don't really know what this is. I'm sure somebody does. If you're watching this video, I don't know, comment, tell me what it is. But this basically just means that I'm as far back as I can go. I'm at like the very beginning. I don't know, maybe this is my root, this is like my home or something. It doesn't really matter. This / means that I'm as far back as I can go, and this is where I always start my command line interface. So I can't go back any further, and so this is basically like the working brain of my computer. So this is where like my software lies. This is where like really sensitive files sit. I always get scared when I'm in here because I don't want to touch anything because I feel like I'm going to shut down my whole computer and then I'll never be able to fix it. So what I want to do is now I want to go back in. So I want to go into users. So users is one of the folders that's in the directory that I'm currently in. So I want to do cd and then users, and it is case sensitive. So if I do users, it'll, oh really? Oh, I guess it's not. I thought it was. And so now all I did was do ls to type out what's in the current folder that I'm in. So now I want to go into Alec Mather. So I do cd Alec Mather, and now I'm in Alec Mather. And this looks kind of stupid. Alec Mather and then Alec Mather. Whatever. Alright, so, and now I can ls. So now I'm in sort of like the standard, like this is where I do most of my stuff. So I've got like my desktop. This is where I navigate to almost all the time. I'm always going to things that are on my desktop. If not, like maybe I'll do things and I'll have like, I have a bunch of files in my C-Line projects. I have other things in other places, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just go to my desktop. Because this is where basically, this is basically literally my desk on my computer. Like I put anything here. It's not sensitive. I know what everything is because I've created everything that's in here. So now I'm on my desktop and I've just got a bunch of stuff in here. So I want to make a folder. But this is getting to be too much, so I don't want to be sitting at the bottom of like this thing the whole time. I want to kind of go back to the top. So what I can do is I can just type clear, And this will clear everything that is in my terminal, but it'll keep me in the directory that I was in. It's not going to move directories or anything. So what I want to do is I want to create a folder on my desktop. So I'm on my desktop, so I'll do mkdir, which is make directory, which is the same thing as make a folder. And then I have to name my folder, and I'll just call it, it doesn't matter what you call it, I'll just call it my folder. Okay, so now I have a folder, and if I do ls, I can see now that my folder is in the desktop, and it's sitting right here. So now I can go into my folder. So I do cd my folder, and now if I do ls, nothing is there. Nothing gets listed out because I just created it. There's nothing in this folder. Now so actually I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. I can't actually like the base of my computer is on my external computer over here, but I'll show you this is the exact same thing as putting a folder on your desktop right here. So it's literally the exact same thing. All you do is you're creating a folder right here, and then because I'm in it right now, what I can do is, I'll just clear. Now let's create a file in here. So if we open the folder, there's nothing in there, right? Obviously, we just created it. So if I do touch is going to create a file. So I do touch, and then I create the name of the file with the extension. So I'll just say like test file.txt, and so this will be a text file. And now it appears in our folder. So now we created a folder with a file in here. And obviously there's nothing written in the file because it's just a blank file. And then you can open it and stuff. So if you want to open this file, make sure that you've navigated to the directory, and then you can do open -a, which is just shorthand for with an application. So open this file with an application. So, and then we type in test file.txt, so the name of our file, and then in quotes we want to type in the application to open it with. So I'll open it with Sublime Text 2, end quotes, and maybe I think actually open test file.txt, and then you do -a. Awesome. So yeah, so you actually, what you do is you type, oh gosh, okay. What you do is you type open the name of the file with the extension, -a is going to tell it what application to open it with, and then in quotes you name the application that you want to open it with. And so this opened with Sublime Text 2, and we've got our file, and then we can do whatever we want with it. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics of everything. Let's see, did I miss anything? Oh, PWD. So a lot of times I'll find myself like I'll need a directory to some place for some reason. Like I'll need a directory in order to grab files from something. If I'm programming something, I just need a directory. I want the full directory, and I don't want to like go through and like index into each one and then write down each one as I index into the next one. I just want a line that says, tell me the full path that I'm on so that I can grab that. And so what you can do is you can use PWD. So right now we're in my folder. Let's create another one called D, and then let's go into D. And then I'll show you. If we just go into D, there's nothing there, obviously. and then let's do another one, and we'll call it F. And so now we've got F, and we can go in, and obviously there's nothing. But now we have this long path all the way back from, if you remember, it starts at here. So this path is longer than just like starting at my folder. Like, it's got more things behind it. So if I want the full path into where I am currently, which is inside F, so let's go into F. So now our path is going to look something like users, Alec Mather, desktop, my folder, F, or D, and then F, or something. I think that should be the full path. But if you type pwd, it'll give you the full path all the way back from the furthest back that you can go, basically, which is all you need. You don't ever need to go past users, because it always starts at users. But yeah, so it'll give you that full path. Okay, so now we're going to do some stuff that's a little bit more advanced, so I don't need to be in here anymore. So let's create an alias. So what an alias is it's basically just a shortcut for something that you want to do. So let's say I am, let's go all the way back. Okay, so this is where we started, right? This is where you start when you open up a new terminal. You're in users. This was the tilde. When we saw the tilde here, it was basically just telling us you're in the users folder. So now what we want to do is we want to create an alias so that if we type in, let's say, if we type in path, if we do that, it's going to say command not found. So let's make this path give us the ability to go all the way from users into F by only typing path here and then clicking enter. Because that's pretty useful. It allows you to navigate your terminal pretty easily. So what you do is you type alias, and then you type in the name of the command that you want. So we want to make path equal something, and then what you do is you type it, or you put in quotes, and to navigate from starting from users, so basically you want this command to bring you to that folder no matter where you start. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put in the tilde, which means start from users, and then we want to say go into the desktop, and then go into the, what was the full path of this? I'm going to need the full path. So let's go into the desktop. Where are we? Okay. Actually, yeah. Let's get a new terminal. To get a new terminal, you just do Control N. When you navigate through them, it doesn't always save this tilde, so I want you to be able to see the tilde. So now we know that that's where we start. Okay, so let's get the full path of the place that we want to go to. So we go into desktop, and we go into my folder, and let's go into, what's it called? CDD, and then CDF. Okay, so this is the full path that we want to grab. So what we can do is we can just get there, and then we type pwd, and then here we just do Control C, like we're just copy pasting it. And then let's go back, or we can just do alias, and then we do path equals quotes tilde, so start from the home, slash, well, we don't need the slash because we're just going to paste this in here. And then this is saying if you ever type in path, you want to go to this folder. So then if we hit enter, and then let's go into, I don't know, somewhere else. We'll go into Iowa. And so now we're in some random folder, we're nowhere near it, and now we type in path. Ooh, it's not no such file or directory. Oh, I don't think we need users, or we don't need anything. Yeah, because Alec Mather is the home. So now if we do path, is a directory. Oh, we didn't do CD. So what you need to do is you actually, so whatever's in quotes here is the full thing that you want to execute. And if you just execute the path, you're not actually going to it. So you still need to write CD space and then the directory. So now if we do path, now we've gone all the way to F. From some random folder. And that's really nice. Aliases are great. But one downside of doing it this way is, so now we've created this alias, and I'll show you the downside of it. But if we just clear out and we say, let's say we open a new terminal like this, and if we type in path, it says command not found. So your bash, every time you open a new terminal, is going to just load a new raw bash command prompt with the default settings. So you're not going to be able to keep commands that you made in other bash profiles, which is kind of lame because you want to be able to do it every time you open it up, and you don't want to have to create it every time you open up a terminal. But we can solve that problem. In Mac computers, at least in mine, there's a file called bashrc, or in my case, it's called bash_profile, and that is where you can create like something like an alias, where every time you open up your terminal, that alias will be available to you to use every time. So in order to access that, you need to type in an editor. I use Nano. You can also use Vim. I don't really know the other ones that well. Don't ask me questions about the other ones. I only kind of know Nano. So you just type in an editor, and then what you need to type in is the name of the file. So I think mine is tilde bash profile. So this is mine. So this is the file that I'm going to open with my Nano editor. And this is really just saying, like, it exists in my home. Just open the file that is called bash profile. Yours might look like this, bashrc, so try both. But when you open it, if you just hit enter, you should get something that looks like this. If yours has nothing in it, that's probably fine. But if you try doing what we're going to do here and it doesn't work, you might be in the wrong file. So if you try bash profile first, you might just be in the wrong file if it doesn't work. So just try bashrc. It just depends on your computer, but a lot of this stuff is things that I did not set up. this is all for like Python libraries and stuff like that. But down here are the things that I have set up. So what you do to create an alias is you just type in alias, and then you do this exact same thing you would in on the command line, except when you save it to this file, you will get it every time you open up a new terminal. So here I made an alias that says if I type C, then I want you to clear the command window, which is just shorthand for doing clear. This is an alias that I made to navigate to a place where I do a lot of programming and leave a lot of my files. So I like to navigate there quickly, and I just aliased it to lab. And then these I use to open applications. So if you want, just grab this syntax. You just do open -a, which is just shorthand for application. And then what you have to do is you have to put this whole thing in double quotes. And so in order to do something like with spaces and stuff, and in order to open something like an application, you need to also put it in quotes. So what I do is I do double quotes around the whole thing, and so it doesn't evaluate these as like two separate things. If you do double quotes right here, it'll say like, oh, you want to do this, and then you want to do this. What you have to do is you have to put one of them in like single quotes, and I'm pretty sure the one on the outside has to be double quotes. I'm not totally sure actually, but you can play around with it. But yeah, this is how you open up an application from your bash. And I even created an alias for opening up my bash profile. If you look at this, it's literally exactly what I typed into the command line in order to get to my bash profile. I picked the editor, and then I asked, and then I just stated where the profile was. And so I'll show you guys that when I use these, let's make one. So I don't want to do anything too complicated. So let's make an alias where if we type in D equals, let's see, what do we want to do? Let's just go back to our home directory, and we'll go to the desktop. Yeah, sure, let's just do that. We'll just go to the desktop using an alias. So if we just type D, we'll just change directories to the desktop from the home directory, which will be nice because then we'll be able to get to the desktop from wherever we are in our files, which would be useful. So then what you do is you do Control-O, which it tells you down here. What you want to do is you want to write it out, which basically just means save. So you do Control-O, and then it'll ask you file name to write, and then all you do is hit enter, and it'll tell you that it wrote 34 lines, which is just all of these. And then down here, it'll say, in order to exit, you do Control-X, so we'll do that. And then I'm pretty sure, let's go somewhere. Where are we? Going to YouTube. So now if we do our D command, it'll say command not found. So that's because this terminal has already been set up. It hasn't been launched with the settings that we just edited on our bash profile. So we just do, let's just open up a new terminal, and let's go into desktop, and let's go into YouTube like before, And now if we do D, it brings us right to our desktop. So you just, in order to get the command that you created in your bash profile, you just have to open up a new terminal. And then I'll show you, even if you quit out of terminal and you open it up and you hit D, there. We got a command that brings us to our desktop, which is actually pretty helpful. I think I'll keep this one in here. That's pretty fast and useful. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of Bash. I know Bash gets really confusing, but you know, just keep working on it. It's just like anything in computer science. Things are usually hard at first, but really, really simple once you understand it and get it. So just keep working on it and you'll figure it out. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.